She stormed into the operating room with a gun in her hand, ignoring the patient still being treated. She glanced briefly at the brain CT scan on the wall. Moments later, the patient flatlined and died on the spot. Before the stunned doctors could even react, she had already changed into a hospital gown and lay down on the operating table herself. Then, pointing the gun at them, she ordered the surgeons to cut her open and remove the poison from his body. Frightened for their lives, the doctors hesitantly picked up the tools. With trembling hands, they made an incision in her abdomen and pulled out a half-pack of a glowing blue substance. Calmly, she spoke its name, CPH4. The doctors immediately understood what it was. CPH4 is a compound the human body produces in only trace amounts, specifically in pregnant women during the 6th week of pregnancy. Its main function is to rapidly develop a fetus's brain. In normal amounts, it's barely detectable, but even that tiny quantity plays a critical role in human evolution, unlocking up to 10% of the brain's potential. That's what helped humans become the most intelligent species on Earth. But in his case, the dosage was far beyond safe limits. Her brain had already reached 20% activation. The doctor could hardly believe she was still alive. At that level, survival should have been impossible. The fact that she was even conscious was nothing short of a miracle. Just one day earlier, the 4th generation of CPH4 had been turned into a new type of drug by a criminal organization. They stuffed packets of it into the stomachs of 4 people, intending to smuggle it into Europe. Lucy was one of those unlucky carriers, lured in and betrayed by her scumbag boyfriend. She woke up from sedation to find a fresh surgical scar across her belly, but things only got worse. While being held captive, her beauty caught the attention of a gang member. He approached her with a twisted grin, licking his fingers in a disgusting, perverted way before suddenly swinging a brutal punch that knocked her to the ground. He then unleashed a violent series of kicks straight into her stomach. Pain exploded from her abdomen with every blow. By the time he walked off, the CPH4 packet inside her had already burst. The substance quickly began leaking and spreading throughout her abdominal cavity. Blue particles crackled like electricity inside her, jumping and flashing through her veins. Within seconds, they fused into her bloodstream and shot through her entire body. In that moment, Lucy could feel it, an endless surge of energy racing through her. Her body began to defy gravity, lifting off the floor and clinging to the walls as if weightless. Then something shifted deep inside her mind. Her brain had entered its first stage of evolution. Her fatigue vanished. Her emotions went still. Her senses sharpened. When another gang member entered the room, Lucy met him with a strange, seductive smile. Drawn in, he dropped his guard completely, smirking as he reached for his belt. But in the next second, Lucy walked out of the room. Without a word, she stepped through the corridor and disappeared into the world outside.